Hello and welcome back. I'm your friendly neighborhood technician. Today we're going to be lowering this thing. Got some H&R springs and I have the Bilstein shocks, so we're going to get those installed and then we're going to do an alignment, because after you do an alignment your toe's going to be, or after you do you lower it, your toe's going to be all screwed up, so we're going to go through that also. Alrighty, here's what we're working with. Got the H&Rs right there. Here's the part number. Same one on all of them. 2 fronts, 2 backs. Got the Bilstein shocks, got the fronts, got the backs, and we have the Mercedes spring compressor right there. So you got this right here, and then we're going to use 2 different spring compressor plates. We're going to use this one, which is a 202 part number, and then this one, which is a 211 part number, right there. Then we're also going to replace the strut mounts for the front. There's the part number for those, because these ones, you can see right there, it's got a little bit, yeah, there you go. See all that cracking right there? Same thing on the other side, but figured since I'm in there, we're going to replace them, get some new ones on there. And you can also see way up in there it's cracking, and you can see the boots coming apart too. Now, you can also see way up in there, the driver's side is also cracking pretty bad. One of these 2 plates, this is the top plate, that's going to be the bottom plate. So we're going to get these as far apart as possible, and then we're going to tighten down the spring. Just tighten it down. Well, there's the old one and there's the new one. You can see how much shorter it is. A little bit shorter. Next, we got to get this shock out of there. We're going to take off the nut on the top, and then we're going to take off this bolt right here. And there's another one on the other side. And then we're going to take out that bolt right there. And now, once we get off this 21 right here, the shock is just going to fall straight through. Hopefully. Next, we're going to take off the 3 13mm nuts right here. You see there's one right there, one right there, and one right there. Next, put your strut mount in. I could not find the instructions or the torque for these 13s, so I'm going to say about 35 Newton meters, about. There is the part number I'm using. Don't forget to transfer over your harness guide. Then put this on facing that direction, and then tighten this down to 80 Newton meters. New bolts come with Loctite already. Torque these down to 110 Newton meters. These are the 2 at the base of the front shock. And then torque this one to 110 also. Or if it's a 14mm bolt, 200 Newton meters. Now that's what it's going to look like. Make sure you get all these clipped back into the harness. And for the rear, you got to take this thing off so you can access that hole right there. Once you get the spring out, you're going to have to pull apart your trunk liner, and then you're going to have to get to the top nut or nuts for the shock. So to get the shock out, you're going to have to take this bolt out right here for the lower control arm, and then drop it down, shock comes out. Okay, so here's the back already installed. Now, if you did remove this to get the spring out, I do recommend it. It makes it a lot easier when this lower control arm is dropped down. It makes it easier to get the spring out and the shock also. If you do that, you're going to want to tighten this to 70 Newton meters. You're going to want to tighten the bottom shock bolt to 55 Newton meters. And if you're just doing your stock shocks and you have the 2 jam nuts at the top, you're going to want to do the initial nut, the first one that goes on, to 15 to 18 Newton meters, and then you're going to want to tighten the second one to 30 Newton meters to the second nut. So if you're going to just replace this one actually came with just 1 nut, which was a nylock, which has the nylon insert in the nut. I would just do that one to 30 Newton meters as well. Alright, so here's how it sits with the H&R springs on there and the thinnest spring pads. This thing rubs like it's nobody's business on the freeway. If I hit the brake pedal too hard on the freeway, it'll rub. If I turn very slowly, it'll rub. It doesn't look like it is, but right here, there's not much room right there. So, I'm going to give you an example. You can see right here, it's already pretty tight. So I'm gonna put some thicker spring pads in it. All right, so here are the thin ones that I put in already. You can see the one bump. I'm gonna go up to the 3 bumpers, and you can see the difference in thickness. This is 8 millimeters, this is 18 millimeters. So I'm gonna go up a whole centimeter. Well, it did level out the front with the back. You can see that the back has just about the same amount of wheel gap as the front. Before, the front was way lower than the back. So right now I'm gonna go drive it. I'm gonna see if it rubs. So hopefully it works a lot better. Well, I can tell you this, it does ride a lot better with the thicker spring pad in there. And it is no longer bottoming out. I can hit the brakes hard and it's not gonna rub on the inside of the wheel well. So I'm happy with how it looks. I'm happy with how it rides. So if you're gonna plan on getting the H&R springs and the Bilstein shocks, don't get the thinnest spring pad, because you're just gonna destroy your fenders. Because every time you, even with the stock tire size, every time you turn, it's gonna rub like it's nobody's business on the fender. So I would not suggest getting the thinnest spring pads. But like I said, the thickest ones, the 18 millimeters, which are the ones with the 3 bumps on it, those seem to be working pretty well right now. Well, thank you for watching. That is how lowering a 124 is done. So make sure you give me that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you get new notifications when I post new videos. Thank you for watching.